warp speed ahead to 1988. Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, is going before the cameras. For the first time, William Shatner will handle the directing chores.
I want to tell you how it goes. Okay, once upon a time, there was a little girl, a little boy walking. I can't tell you the Star Trek V plot. That's ridiculous.
Well, we've all taken an oath. Okay. And I do intend to live long and prosper.
If you want to see a big movie in June of this summer with strange and interesting things, come and see it.
Earlier this year, Universal Studios and Paramount Pictures with Gene Roddenberry teamed up to present the Star Trek Adventure, a new attraction of the Universal Studios tour. And by overwhelming demand, this year also marked the era of a new science fiction series of which I am proud to be a part, Star Trek: The Next Generation. Many of the original production crew were brought back under the guidance of executive producer Gene Roddenberry.
On the original Star Trek, I practically lost my family from working so many 12-hour days, 14-hour days, 7 days a week. And I said, you can't pay me enough to do that. But then they said, hey, but suppose we did it in a way in which they call syndication, in which we don't have a network. And we don't have all those people. And Paramount was saying to me, and we guarantee to you that you will be in charge of the show.
The thing that's amazed me about Roddenberry more than anything else is that he has never allowed anything to change his image of the future. Not studios, not networks, not writers like me coming in saying, come on, Gene, Don Johnson, Miami Vice, let's heat it up. None of that. He maintains that integrity to that vision.
Now let's bring you up to date with this new series. Stardate, the 24th century. 78 years have passed since the days of Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock. Much larger Starship Enterprise explores the outer reaches of the universe, and as Captain Jean-Luc Picard, I lead an expert team of crew members to seek out new life and new civilizations.
Let's see what's out there.
I have no problem with following any rules you lay down, short of compromising your safety.
Riker is going to be, and he's turning into the ideal number one, who feels that this is his vessel. The captain just borrows it now and then to command.
I see color variations and complex harmonies.
Geordi is going to become engineer this year, and he is fine. He's got a sense of humor. He has a flip personality. It's a nice contrast to the other people, and a likable fellow.
I am superior, sir, in many ways. But I would gladly give it up to be human.
Data, of course, is Pinocchio. He would like his thing he wants most in life to be is a real flesh and blood boy.
You're under tremendous pressure. More than you've ever experienced. You should be proud of the way you're handling command.
Thanks, Counselor.
Troy says to the audience, human engineering is just as important as cogs and grease and all of those things. We need human engineers to make people work together smoothly.
But to have a society so intermixed with computers, it has tremendous advantages.
Wesley was built a little bit on myself at 14. I was never the genius he is, but that's a wonderful time of life.
I'm a Klingon, sir. For me to seek escape when my captain goes into battle.
You are a Starfleet officer, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir.
To have a Klingon, a savage character like this, and have him spend time in the Space Academy and learn civil behavior and so on, but still have this warrior strength, makes him a very exciting character.
Just as Gene Roddenberry was careful in casting the original series, much consideration went into choosing this new cast. I personally spent months talking with Gene and the producers before a decision was made.
It was 7 auditions over 6 weeks, so it was harder than the job has been, and certainly more nerve-wracking. But it obviously has been quite a peach of a job.
The phone rang, and it was them saying you got the job. So after I'd peeled myself off the ceiling, I started to unpack. It was literally, if they'd called, 3 hours later, I'd have been at LAX on my way back to London.
It's gratifying to me that this new cast has banded together so quickly. It's that ensemble feeling off-screen that can heighten the sense of reality on-screen.
You know, we all sort of look out for each other and stick up for one another, and you know, we'll all go to bat for each other.
And especially if you're going to go, which we think we are, for another 5 or 6 years, you know, that camaraderie and that, you know, that warmth is there.
And this season, 2 new crew members will beam aboard the Enterprise. Diana Muldaur will portray the ship's new chief medical officer, Dr. Catherine Pulaski.
I left town and moved to the mountains, to the high Sierra Nevada, with my husband, and thought that I'd left all this behind, and got a call for this and couldn't turn it down. It was just too exciting. So here I am.
And celebrated actress Whoopi Goldberg will appear in a recurring role as a special guest star.
What she's going to play is basically a bartender in a very exciting new set that we've built in the very forward part of the ship called 10 Forward, which looks out on all of space. If you think about yourself on the bow of the Queen Mary, that's where we're going to be, right out there where it's all coming at you like this.
We discussed having bartenders who maybe would be extremely sexy and others that would be very alien. And in the midst of trying to figure out what we were going to do behind the bar at 10 Forward, we got this call from Whoopi Goldberg saying, "Come have lunch, I want to join your team." And it took only seconds to realize what the perfect spot for her would be.
In keeping with the philosophy of the original series, Gene Roddenberry continues to explore the social issues of today amid the galaxy of the 24th century. Among them are such problems as war, drug addiction, and the arms race.
Once unleashed, the unit is invincible.
You poor fools, your own creation destroyed you. One episode from our first year, entitled The Big Goodbye, was honored with the George Foster Peabody Award, which recognizes outstanding achievements in television broadcasting. During that encounter, you may have noticed one of the ship's new technological advances, the holodeck, a 24th century extension of today's computer games. This device allows the crew to recreate any place they desire, real or imaginary, from a tranquil corner of green countryside to a jazzy New Orleans nightclub. And by the way, that's no hologram. That's Jonathan Frakes actually playing the trombone. That's just one of the many differences between the original series and this new generation. For instance, the new Starship is 8 times larger than its predecessor, travels at much faster speeds, and can separate from its saucer section in an emergency situation.
I think that there was a rampant skepticism throughout both the fans and the media and the critics, and when they realized that we weren't trying to recreate Kirk and Spock and Bones.
There's a part of our psychological makeup, I believe, that is really noble and is really interested in developing, growing and developing in the progression that Roddenberry has taken us.
I've been asked the question, you've after doing all of those episodes, are there new things you can do? My God, yes. The basis of our series is the galaxy, and there's quite a few stories out there.
The Star Trek saga will return in a moment. Has barely scratched the surface of space exploration in the 20th century. Who knows what man will be exploring in the 24th? Perhaps Star Trek The Next Generation can give us an indication. And if the ideas it presents are accurate, the future looks promising. In any event, the Star Trek saga is sure to continue from one generation to the next, as long as there's an audience that dreams of a future filled with hope and excitement.
It'll go on without any of us, and get better and better and better, because that really is the human condition, is to improve and improve.
I'm Patrick Stewart. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the future. If not in this century, then perhaps the 24th. Live long and prosper. Good night.